Alright guys, welcome to that crypto channel. Today we're going to be talking about the market, where I think it's headed. So currently Bitcoin, as you can see here on TradingView, is at $9,037. It is continually dropping currently. However, the good news is that after a bear market like the one we've been in for the past month and a half, 2 months, there's a market reversal, every time. This has been proven time and time again in the normal stock market. And, after there is a bear market, guess what? There's always a bull market that follows. So how far do I think this can go before we bounce back? Now, as you can see, we have somewhat of a falling wedge with Bitcoin, and I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start it here actually. So as you can see, this is a falling wedge. Now, how far down do I think this can go? Do I actually think it can go down to $6,300? I personally don't think so. I personally think that we'll bounce off of a much higher value than, the $6,300, which would continue this pattern, simply because we have fallen from such a high point. I think the sentiment in the crypto space currently is that Bitcoin will bounce off of somewhere between $8,000 and $7,000. Now, I wouldn't necessarily argue with that. I do personally believe that Bitcoin will break $9,000, and we can almost do this live. It's so close currently. However, how much further down do I think it has to go before there's some market reversal? I personally think that is somewhere around the low $8,000 mark. Somewhere around $8,300, $8,200, I think we will see a market reversal. Now, it's not necessarily based on any technical analysis or anything like that, because that would, this falling wedge pattern would suggest that it has much, much further downside. However, just reading on Telegram posts and on Reddit and Twitter, I've seen a lot of technical analysts and people in the crypto space saying that it will bounce off of, $7,000 or $8,000. Either one of those psychological levels. As you can see here, we are currently at $9,000. If it breaks $9,000 is a big psychological barrier. So as you can see, it has just broken through, and we will see it continue more than likely to 8,800 in the next, I would say, 20 minutes or so. However, I think it should bounce off of the low $8,000 mark, simply because everyone is saying that it will bounce off of between $8,000 and $7,000. Now, what happens most of the time is, if that's the word around the street, usually it bounces higher than that. Now, I've seen many people, claim $8,000 or $7,000 Bitcoin for a while, and when when that's the sentiment around the crypto space, usually it bounces a bit higher. So I would say more than likely somewhere around $8,300 or $8,200, I would say. And what that means for the overall crypto market, as you can see, we are currently at $460 billion. I do personally believe we will break through $450 billion, and I think we will head down to somewhere in the neighborhood of 420,000 billion. I'm sorry, 420 billion, not 420,000 billion. That would be 420 trillion, which would be more money than there is in the world. So That can't be the case. But yeah, I do think we are going to see a bounce, a strong bounce. We should see a strong bounce, which will signal the market reversal. So what normally happens, as we can see in past history with this chart in Bitcoin, is whenever there's a significant pullback, obviously there's a lot of volume being traded. Now, usually when there's a market reversal, you'll see heavy bear volume followed by heavy bull volume. So that is one way that you can play this oversold bounce on this, on the lowest point that Bitcoin will hit, is you can actually almost play that just by knowing that fact that when Bitcoin is dumping really hard, when it's already dumped, as you can see, just today alone, it's dumped over $1,000. When it has an increased momentum in the downward trend, it will have a increased momentum in the upward trend directly after. So that's a trick that I've used to day trade, Bitcoin in the past. Is once I see all the time frames are oversold, like the like the 5 minute. The 5 minute is currently oversold. I use the RSI to determine if it's oversold. So we look at the 5 minute, the hourly. Hourly is also oversold. Sometimes you could check the 15 minute, but more than likely it is oversold as well. So you can see there it's oversold, 15 minute, and then the 4 hour is oversold, and the daily is almost oversold as well. So when we zoom out this far, you can see just how steep that falling wedge is. And that's yet another reason for that not to necessarily be okay to use in this case. That is just incredibly steep. I personally don't see it doing that and falling down to what would be $6,300 at the end of this falling wedge. So I'm gonna hold true to it bouncing off of somewhere between 82 and 8,300, because that's where I truly believe it'll bounce off from. Let's just do this real quick. So yeah, as you can see, it's already down into $8,800. You can see the spike in bear volume here. Pretty significant spike in bear volume. A lot of people fudding, a lot of people selling off. This will be followed by a spike in bull volume. Whether it's temporary or more permanent, I think it'll be a temporary spike in bull volume that precedes this. So let's just look at the global charts one more time. So we hit an all-time high of around 830 billion. So I personally think 420 billion, I think that's where we'll bounce off from. So, I'm curious to know what you guys think, how far down this will go. So please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Let's just look at Ethereum real quick. As you can see, Ethereum has been holding really strong throughout this this market crash. However, you can see here there's been a huge red candle, a lot of bear volume here as well. So I think we're going to see a temporary, what's known as a dead cat bounce. We'll probably see it come back up and then dip lower again. I don't think this is the end. As you can see, it's a lot of bear volume, but it will be followed by bull volume. But I do think it's temporary. I think it will bounce off of $8,200 or $8,300. So I think that's it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if if you want to know a little bit more and dive a little deeper into this crypto game. And as you can see, like I said before, we see a lot of big bull volume after a significant pullback like that. As you can see here, there is a green candle that is slightly more in volume than this red candle. You can barely see it. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a great day, guys.